Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Pauline the Analyst and today we are about to level up our SQL join skills with the absolutely useful left join. So if you've ever needed to include all the records from one table while optionally including matches from another, this is the join for you. So by the end of this video, you will be able to use the SQL left join like a pro. So let's get started. In this video, we are going to cover 1. What makes left join different from inner join. 2. Setting up our practice database with related tables. 3. Left join syntax breakdown with clear examples. 4. When to use left join in real-world scenarios. And finally, common pitfalls and how to avoid them. So, let's dive in. In our next segment, I want us to understand what left join is. So unlike inner join, which only shows matches, left join guarantees all records from the left table appear with nulls where no matches exist. So this is perfect when you need to 1. Find customers without orders. 2. Show all products including those never purchased. 3. Identify employees without assigned projects. So in our next segment, I want us to set up our practice tables that we are going to use. So we'll use a university database with students and courses. Let's write it down. Use a university database with students and courses. Okay, nice. So let us first create the students table. Students table. So we have to create table called the students. Then open our bracket. So we'll have to insert our columns. The first column will be the student ID, student underscore ID. Since this is a number, its data type will be an integer, and this will be the primary key of the table. Primary key. Next column, we will have the student name. Student name. Its data type will be a varchar since it's text, and I don't want it to have more than 100 characters, guys. I also don't want it to have any null values, so I will write it as not null. Then the next column will be the major. Since it will be text, it will also have a varchar data type, and I don't want it to have more than 50 characters. And then finally, our next column will be the enrollment year. Enrollment year. And since this is a number, its data type will be an integer. And this will be not null. So let's finish our query over here. Close our bracket. Finish our query and then highlight it like this and execute it, and voila, our students table has been created. Next, I want us to create the courses table. Create courses table. Create table called courses. This is the table name. Then open your bracket, and then next we are going to include the columns. So my first column will be the course ID. Course ID. Data type is an integer, and this will be the primary key of the table. Next, we will be including our student ID. And also this will be an integer as its data type. Next, we will have the course name as our next column. Course name, and this is text, so that will be varchar, and I don't want it to have more than 100 characters. And this will be not null. Then next, we will have credit hours as our next column. And this will be an integer since it's a number, and I don't want it to have any null values, so I include it that way. So let's push this down a little bit so that you can see my table. And then next, I want us to have the grade as our next column, and this will be a character, okay? Just a character. And I want it to have not more than 2 characters in it. Then finally, we will have to include the foreign key into this, okay? So foreign key, which will be the student ID, since that is what connects these 2 tables. There is where they have the relationship. So the student ID, close your bracket, and then our references will be from the table students, and it will also come from the column student ID, since this is the column that connects the 2 tables. So let's finish our query, highlight it, and execute it. And voila, our command has been completed successfully. So I want you to notice the relationship where one student can have many courses. So this one-to-many relationship is perfect for demonstrating left join. Okay, guys? So in our next segment, I want us to insert sample data into our table. So let's move this down over here. So we want to insert data. Let's write that down. Insert sample data. So for the first one, we want to insert students, the students table. We will be using insert into the students table. There it is. Perfect. Then the values that we are inserting into these tables are, let's open our bracket. For the student table, let's move up and see. We have the student ID. So the student ID will have 1. Then the name, student name will be Emily Chen. Okay. Then next we'll have the major, which is computer science. And then finally her enrollment here. So close your bracket. Then move on to the next. And next we have the student ID, which is 2. Okay. Then student name, we have David Wilson. This is the data that we're inserting into our table, David Wilson. Then next, the major is biology. And enrollment here is 2021. Okay, on to the next. We have our student ID, which is 3. Then student name, we have Sophia. Then the major is null. And then enrollment here is 2023. Close your bracket. I want you to understand that this is an undeclared major. We do not know the major she is taking. Then next we have our student number, which is 4. So we'll call him Michael Brown. Then the major is physics. Enrollment here is 2022. Okay, so finish your query, and then let me move this down so that you can see it. Highlight it, and then execute it, and voila, 4 rows have been affected. So next we want to insert data into our courses table. So write it down so that you can follow along. We want to insert into the courses table. So that is insert into courses. There it is. So the values that we are inserting include, we'll start with the course ID. Okay, so our course ID here is 11. Then we have student ID is 1. Then we have our course name is database systems. Then our credit hours here, we have 3 credit hours. And then finally, the grade is an A. So close your bracket. Then go on to your next row, which will be course ID is 102. Then student ID is 1. Then our course name is algorithms. So our credit hours is 4. And then our grade is an A minor. Close your bracket. Then on to the next row, we have our course ID is 103. Then our student student ID is 2, course name is genetics, credit hours is 4, and finally our grade is a B plus actually. So close your bracket and then on to the next. We have our course ID is 104, student ID is null, then our course name is calculus 1, that's our course name. And then our credit hours is 4 credit hours, and then our grade here is a null. So close your bracket. And then finally, our course ID here is 105. Our student ID is 4. Course name is quantum mechanics. Credit hours is 3. Then our grade is an A. So close your bracket, then finish your query, highlight it, and then execute it, and voila, my command has been completed successfully. Okay, guys? So on to the next segment, I want to talk about the basic left join syntax. When I say syntax, I mean the formula for something. So the syntax for it is, let's write it down. Select, then you write your columns from what table. That is from the left table, since we're using the left join. Then you left join the right table on the left table, which is equal to the right table key. Okay, guys? So I want us to find all students and their courses if they have any. Okay? So write it down. Find all students and their courses. We will have select. Okay? So S will be the student name. Then S will also represent the major of the student. Then C will be the course name. And then also C will be the grade. We're using our syntax over here. I hope you can follow along. Then from the students table, which its alias will be S, where we are left, we left join the courses table. Its key is a C on S student ID, since that is the relationship, the connection between the two tables, which is equals to C, the student ID. So finish your query, highlight it, and then execute it. And voila! Let me increase this so that you can see it with me. So as you can see from my table, we have connected the two tables, the students table and the course table. This is how you do it, guys. So I want you to see how Sophia appears. Can you see? I want you to see how Sophia appears even though she has no courses. That's left join working. The course columns show null where no match exists, like as you can see from my table over here. So on our next segment, I want us to find records without matches. Okay, let's write that down. Okay, so one superpower of left join is finding records with no matches. Let's find students who haven't enrolled in any courses. So we will write select. So S will represent the student name. Then S will also represent the major. And all this is gotten from the students table. It is, that is represented by S. Amazing. And then we want to left join the courses table. Its alias is C on S student ID, which equals to S, meaning from this, this is from the students table. Okay. The column, the student ID is the relationship between the two columns. So S over here is from the student ID column is from the students table. And then C over here, the student ID is from the courses table. This is the relationship between the two. Guys, if you are not understanding, and I want us to write where C, course ID, is null. So finish your query, highlight it, and then execute it, and voila. Sophia Rodriguez, who is null. we have achieved our goal to find students who haven't enrolled, and that is Sophia. Very simple. So this where clause filters for only rows where the right table has nulls. So meaning there is no match that was found. So in our next segment, we want to use left join with multiple tables. So I want us to add a third table to see left join's power in multiple table queries, okay? So we will create a table called scholarship. So that is create table scholarships. There it is. Open our bracket, then insert our columns. My first column will be called the scholarship ID. And since it's a number, its data type will be an integer, and that will be the primary key of the table. Next, we will have the student ID. Student ID column will be an integer as well. And since I don't want it to have similar values, I will write unique. I want it to be unique. So that means one scholarship per student. There is no duplicates in the table. Next, column will be amount. And this will have a decimal data type because we know that prizes can have decimals. And I don't want it to have any null values. Next, we'll have the scholarship name. And since it's text, it will have varchar, and I don't want it to have more than 100 characters, guys. Then we insert the foreign key. So our foreign key, as you can see from the previous tables, is still the student ID. Then our references will be from the student's table. From which column? The student ID column. So finish your query, then highlight it and execute it. And voila, our command has been completed successfully. Next, I want us to add data into this table that has been created. So add data. We know that we insert into the scholarships table. Here it is. And the values that we are inserting are, for my scholarship ID, it will be 1. The student ID will also be 1. The amount will be $5,000, but since it has a decimal, it has 2 decimal places, I have to insert that. Scholarship name is the CS Excellence Award. So close your bracket. On to the next row, we have scholarship ID is 2. Then our student ID is 4. Then the amount here is $3,000. So 2 decimal places. Then the scholarship name is the Physics Research Grant. Highlight your query and then execute it, and voila. Our table has been completed successfully. Now, let's see all students with their courses and scholarships, if they have them. Remember, guys, this is the third table created. Our query will be select. S represents the student name. S also represents the major. Then SCH represents the amount. As, this is our alias, as it will be seen as the scholarship amount. Next, C represents the course name. Then all this is from the students table. We want to left join scholarships table. That is represented as SCH. And we want to left join it on the S student ID that represents the students table, which is equals to the SCH that represents the student ID, the common factor over here. And then also we want to left join. Remember, we are joining 3 tables. So we also have to left join the courses table, C, on S student ID, our common factor, which equals to C student ID. So finish your query, highlight it, and then execute it, and voila. As you can see over here, I have just joined 3 tables. That was the students table, the courses table, and the scholarship table. Can you see? The student name, the major, the scholarship amount, all of them have been joined together. 3 tables have been joined together. Let's visualize the difference between left join and inner join. So I want us to understand that inner join deals with matches only. So for example, select count, then as inner join count from the students table. There it is, that is represented by S. And then we want to inner join our courses table that is represented by C on S, that is from the students table, the student ID, which is equals to C also from the courses, that is from the student ID. So finish your query, highlight it, and then execute it. So this is inner join. The inner join count here is 4, as you can see from my screen. But now if you want to use the left join, here as you can see, deals with all the students. So if we want to see how many students we have through left join, we will select count as the left join count. Then this will be from the students table that is represented by S. And then we want to left join now. Left join the courses table, that is C on S, that is represented by the student ID, which equals to C, that is also the student ID. So highlight it and execute it. As you can see, inner join includes only matches and left join includes all the students. So for our final segment, we'll have real world cases. And I want you to know that here is where left join shines in real projects. So 1, we have e-commerce, where you can find customers with no purchases. 2, we have school systems, where you can identify students who are not enrolled in classes. 3, we can also use it in HR systems, where you can show all employees, including those without assigned tasks. And finally, we have the inventory, where you can list all products, including never ordered items. Very, very simple. That's the masterclass on the SQL left join. So if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get more SQL tutorials. If you have any questions or you want any topic covered, drop it in the comment section below. So until next time, happy coding!